Hey everyone, Trevor at Toploaded Gaming. So I got a package in, and we got to talk because me and Jesse and Marlon and Jay. I'm gonna put a link to Jay's channel in the description. Guys, check out Will's channel. He gets a lot of really fucking cool stuff. I'm envious of some of this guy's pickups. And that was before he was in Japan. And honestly, since he's in Japan, he's becoming a really, really good asset for as far as learning all about Japanese games and what came out there that didn't come out in the States. It's becoming a really good resource for Japanese games. So I highly recommend you guys check this channel out. We've all been talking, and basically it's how am I going to start playing TurboGrafx and PC Engine games? What's the best way for me to do that? And we've gone back and forth, and I've listened to a lot of advice from all of these guys, and a while back, I was going to get a TurboDuo setup, and Jesse kind of talked me out of it and said no. The way he put it was, listen to me, Trevor. I know what I'm talking about here, and if you get a console to play these games, it has to be a TurboDuo R or a TurboDuo RX. So just bite the bullet, and get the better system going out. And what I do want to say so far is this is what I have so far. I got this TurboGrafx 16 a while back. I explained Jesse my situation, was asking, I wasn't really asking him for anything, but I was asking him for advice, and he tells me he has this composite wire lying around, and he sends it to me. So now I have a way to hook up the TurboGrafx, and then recently, Marlon, matter of fact, one of my last videos, Marlon sent me a TurboGrafx 16 American controller that I can use with the TurboGrafx 16. And then Marlon sent me a TurboDuo Japanese controller, which I'm not positive. It can't be Japanese because it says TurboGrafx on it, so it must just be the same size as the Japanese TurboDuo controllers. And then he also sent me this Avenue Pad 6 controller. So I mean, I'm kind of all set up. And now as far as games, Marlon sent me Sinestron. And recently, on a vacation, I bought Keith Courage. So, I have a couple of HuCard games. Now, a while back, Marlon sent me Twin B Returns, which this is a PCE Works reproduction. From what I understand about this game, though, it never really officially got a physical copy release. I have also from PCE Works is Rondo of Blood. had to start off with Rondo of Blood. But I plan on getting the real copy very, very soon. So what did I set up the camera for? Well, let's take a look inside this box and see what I decided to get. So, TurboDuo or white model. I kind of wish I could have found the black model, but it just wasn't in the cards. And I'm way too impatient to sit there waiting. It's like, whenever I'm gonna get something, it has to be like right then and there, or I'll just go find something else that I'd rather get that's available now. Whenever I'm gonna do something, and it just has to be available right then and there. I'm not, I guess you'd say, a man of patience, more a man of impulse, I guess. But let's open this bad boy up. Let's see what this fucking money got me, right? So I wish I would have had the foresight to make a little Rocky style montage the way Bithead recently did, by selling all my stuff on eBay. But I didn't do that.
So a lot of things happening at once, remind everyone of what's going on.
But I sold a bunch of stuff on eBay and got enough money to pull the trigger on something like this. Alright, so first off we have our composite cable. Next up we have all our manuals. And I have no basis for comparison, but I'm sure it's missing one or two advertisements, but manuals there. See if I can do this without breaking it. Either way, I'm gonna end up with a decent video, right? Alright, so just on the sides, we've got another. Yeah, it looks like it's the same port. Another 2-button controller. And we also have the OEM AC adapter.
An adapter or adapter is a device that converts attributes of one electrical device.
Shut the fuck up! So, some particulars. This TurboDuo, out the box, can play US and Japanese, all region. It's region free for the disc games. However, it's not modded to do American hue cards. So Jesse has a guy, probably gonna end up shipping this off at some point, for someone to mod it to play American TurboGrafx U cards. But for the meantime, that's why I still have my TurboGrafx 16 to be able to play the American U cards until then. But as of right now, I'm all set, ready to go. And you know what happened was, I was searching with the money I got from eBay. It was between the TurboDuo and Power Blade 2 for the NES. I was getting one of those. Either that, or I had planned to maybe get Bucky O'Hare. I was gonna get like 4 NES games if I couldn't get one of those two. I was gonna get Bucky O'Hare, Contra Force, Vice Project Doom, and Felix the Cat. That was the 4 games I was gonna go after. Or I was gonna do Power Blade or the TurboDuo R. So what ended up happening was, I'm going back and forth with like Facebook sellers and eBay sellers, and I find this guy selling a bunch of TurboGrafx and PC Engine stuff. Well, I message him to see if he'd go down on the price. He had it, I don't remember what he had it at, close to $400, I think. And I asked him if he'd be able to go down to $325 shipped. Now, one thing you gotta remember is, I just so happened to find, because it's spending this much money, especially like when you don't really have it, you want to be sure that the seller is a good seller, So I'm looking at feedback and all of this stuff, and I finally find a seller I'm willing to buy from, and I start messaging him, and he's messaging me back, and he kind of hints towards, well, add me on Instagram. I never use Instagram. I'm surprised I even had an account. It's probably like the 3rd time I've ever logged into that thing. But I get on Instagram and we start talking back and forth, and I'm like, this guy's comfortable. I'm sending him, $300 something, but I'm not really comfortable just because we met up at Instagram, and he's also telling me like, send the money friends and family, and I'm like, man, I gotta send the money goods and services, so that way I'm covered at least on PayPal. So I end up telling him, well, are you in any Facebook groups? And that was the magic word, because he was in a bunch of Facebook groups that I'm in. So I was kind of able to feel more comfortable with the situation, and being I added him, he told me, being I added him on Facebook, and he had an account, a person to sort of track, he was comfortable, he was fine with me sending the payment, goods and services. So I messaged Jay and I messaged Jesse one more time to kind of confirm, like, hey, this looks alright. It was kind of like when you're going to buy a vehicle, and you get your mechanic buddy or whatever to come with you and make sure the carburetors in the motorcycle aren't gelled up or whatever the case. I mean, it was kind of like that. And Jay was like, oh dude, it's in the box and the manual's there for $325 shipped, man. That's amazing, dude. Get that all day. Cause Jay was offering to search high and low in Japan. Right now he's stationed in Japan right now, and he was offering to search for me to try and get one. And even then, even getting directly from Japan, it was still gonna cost like $280 at the very least, from what he told me. So and that was just the system, not complete in box like I did. considering selling back the box and all, and trying to recoup some of the money that I spent, but I'm undecided. But you know, Jay was like, absolutely, you know, go ahead and pull the trigger, dude. And then I messaged Jesse. He's like, oh man, you're not gonna regret it, Trevor. This is the best setup that you can, you know, possibly get with these systems, man. It's more reliable systems. Just go ahead and do it. So reluctantly, I sent this dude. What we ended up figuring out was he was actually pretty cool, because that Rondo of Blood I showed a second ago, that PCE Works reproduction Rondo of Blood, even though it's a reproduction, it sells on eBay for like 160, 170 bucks. And to me, that is ridiculous. The only difference between that and a copy I can burn for you right now is it's factory pressed. The book, I mean, I don't care if people crap on me for saying this or whatever. The book that came with it is not, it's not even glossy paper. I don't even understand what the big deal about some of these games are. And what I'm saying, I'm not saying don't buy reproductions. I'm saying don't buy reproductions that are $170 for a single game. That is fucking ridiculous. Okay? What he did was reasonable. He sort of was morally objected to spending that much on a reproduction. And I understand why. He sent me a picture of the sold listings on eBay for this exact copy he was selling me. He says, look, I'll sell you one, no big deal. Just don't go and spend money on these PCE Works games on eBay for these sort of prices. And every fucking listing, it was sold fucking $170, $160, $175, $160, $159. Just sold like fucking hotcakes. And he says, I'm gonna give you this copy for 25 bucks. Sound good? Which, if I'm not mistaken, is lower than what PCE Works sells them for. Now, to me, a reproduction, I could understand recouping some of the equipment you're using and stuff like that, especially with the factory press, but I don't see paying more than 30 bucks. And every game I've seen so far from them, I could be wrong, but that it's not all of their games, but every single solitary game I've seen from these guys has been over 30 bucks. And I don't see that as being something viable. But everybody's got an opinion, man. I mean, if you find value in them, that's all that matters. Just me personally, I'm not going over 30 bucks for a reproduction. That's just me. 30 bucks is absolutely my limit. I'll just burn the damn thing myself. And not to mention, I'd rather collect the real thing anyway. If I'm really hard up for a game, you know, just to play it, to make sure I want to buy it, I'll burn it or I'll emulate it to try it out. But starting to collect these like they're a collection, I could understand if the game never physically released. But if the game's out there, I'm just gonna try and get the real game. But I guess let me get off this tangent. So anyways, the guy tells me, I give you Rondo of Blood for 25 bucks. You know, it wasn't sealed, but he still could have gotten way more for it open, complete, on eBay than 25 bucks. So I thought that was really cool of the guy. I really appreciate it, you know. Because when I go to get rid of it, I'm not gonna sell it for more than 25 bucks if I just don't give the fucker away, you know. But with that included, it was $360.25 I had to send PayPal. Assuming everything works, I'm hoping it's gonna be worth every penny, because this library of games has so many shooters. Shooters is why I got into this. Initially, what happened, and I've always told part of the story, you know, which is I started playing Gradius 5 and I had never saw it or whatever. But the whole story is that I had started playing these, I had started downloading all these shooters for the iPad. And they were all old cave arcade shooters, you know, cave and treasure shooters. Donpachi and Duranpachi and Bug Princess and a few others. Because I started looking up, like, how can I play more of these? I wanna play them all. What are the best ones? I found out that they had made a Gradius 5, and my reaction was, they made a Gradius after part 3 for the Super Nintendo? Like, I didn't know they had actual arcade machines of Gradius. I had no idea. I had no idea what was out there. Gradius Gaiden, Gradius 4, Gradius 5, Gradius Deluxe Pack for the Sega Saturn, for the PSP, Salamander, all these different games, Parodius. I had no idea what was out there. And shooters are what started this all. Originally, it wasn't supposed to be, I'm going for the complete Nintendo, I'm going for the complete everything or whatever. It was, I want to play every shooter. I want to own every shooter. And with this is a serious system to start getting a lot of the shooters that I've been meaning to get. So I think this is a new chapter for the channel, and I'm just so thrilled to finally have this system to be able to go through some of the games that I've been wanting to tackle for the longest time. And I hope all of you watching will be a part of that and continue to watch the channel. We're approaching 200 subs, and you know, I can't even believe I got that, you know, because the frequency to which I upload is so sporadic. I might put 5 videos up one week and then not do a video for 6 months. I appreciate everybody hanging in there and everything like that. It really means a lot, and we'll probably end up doing something special for the 200 subs. I'll probably do some sort of giveaway. I'm still thinking about what I'm gonna give away. It's gonna be something good. It's not gonna be like a double dribble, you know. It's gonna be something good that somebody wants. Hey guys, so I got a sad update to this video. Upon testing the TurboDuo, ended up not really working that well. I'm having some issues with the music loading, as well as the discs being read in general. Kind of talking back and forth with Jesse to see, you know, what he thinks I should do with the seller, whether I should just get a refund or whatever. What we came up with is I shipped the system out to a guy next door to me in Texas, and he's gonna work on it. While it's there, I'm gonna get him to do the region mod for the Hue cards to play American Hue card games. So the seller is gonna end up paying for the repairs, and I'm gonna pay for the mod. So it's probably gonna be a few weeks before I get it back, because there's probably a bunch of consoles in line before ours. So I'll keep you all posted for that. It sucks, you know, but I mean, I was gonna get it modded anyway, so I mean, when I get this thing back, it's gonna be ready to fucking rock and roll. With that, I guess that's gonna do it for me. This is Trevor over at Toploaded Gaming. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.